Welcome back, beautiful people, to another powerful episode of the Sussex Squad podcast, the space where we stand firmly with Prince Harry and Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, and where we don't just lightly tap the nonsense coming out of the British media. No, we stomp on it with precision, with facts, with receipts, and with a whole lot of love for the Sussex family. If you're here, you're part of the global community that believes in truth, compassion, and justice, and refuses to let hate-driven smear campaigns rewrite history. If you're new to this channel, hit that subscribe button right now. Go ahead, I'll wait. Because once you join the Sussex Squad, you're in a place where logic lives, where propaganda goes to die, and where Meghan and Harry are seen as the strong, resilient, brilliant, loving human beings they are. Not the caricatures the UK tabloids try, daily, desperately, to turn them into. And today, we've got a story that the British media is dragging like it's the hottest tea of the century. They've been pushing this narrative non-stop, inflating it like a balloon that's seconds away from popping. They're calling it an approaching awkward reunion between Prince Harry and Prince William in the United States during next year's World Cup. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Wait, didn't they already try this storyline last year? And the year before that? And the year before that? Yes. Yes, they did. Because when you're out of ideas, when your monarchy's PR is leaking oil from every corner, and when your only profitable content is Harry and Meghan, you recycle the same plot lines like reruns of a soap opera. But let's unpack this properly. The tabloids claim Harry and William may run into each other at matches in the US next year. That's it. That's the story. No confirmation, no planning, no communication between the brothers. The tabloids simply took the fact that both men might attend football games and spun it into a royal showdown. They turned a basic coincidence into a circus, because that's all they can do at this point. Their entire media industry depends on dramatizing two brothers who are simply living separate lives. And let's not forget, Harry lives in California. If the World Cup is quite literally happening down the road from him, why wouldn't he attend? Meanwhile, William, who has spent years avoiding meaningful Commonwealth work, who struggles to maintain popularity and who rarely shows up unless there's a photo op, suddenly flying to the US for football matches is now being framed as some grand royal responsibility. The British press is desperate to make this about Harry. Desperate to make this about conflict. Desperate to make this about Meghan. Because the truth, the real truth, is too uncomfortable for them to deal with. The truth is that Harry has moved on. The truth is that Harry's life in the US is fulfilling, grounded, peaceful and free. And the British press cannot handle the idea that Harry is thriving outside of the monarchy, outside of the tabloids, outside of their control. Let's talk about that for a moment. The British media does not want Harry to be happy. They do not want Meghan to be healthy. They do not want the Sussexes to be successful. Their entire business model relies on portraying Harry as lost, confused, regretful, isolated, desperate for royal approval. Because if they admit the truth, that Harry chose freedom, that Harry chose his wife and children, that Harry chose peace, then their narrative collapses. The monarchy's narrative collapses. But the story gets even more ridiculous. According to one tabloid source, security teams are preparing for the possibility that the brothers might be in the same stadium. Imagine being so bored, so creatively empty, so devoid of journalistic integrity that you turn normal security protocol into a headline. Every world leader, celebrity or public figure attending a major event requires security planning. That's not news. That's common sense. But the British media cannot resist. They twist, they stretch, they inflate. They turn dust into mountains because their content pipeline is empty without Harry and Meghan. And every time they manufacture a story like this, they conveniently leave out the entire history that brought us here. They pretend the feud started out of nowhere. They act as though Harry just woke up one day and decided to throw bombs. They frame William as some calm, noble, stoic leader, and Harry as the rogue troublemaker. But let's remind the British media and the world of how we got here. Harry didn't start this. Harry didn't leak to the press. Harry didn't weaponize the institution. Harry didn't feed tabloid stories to protect others. Harry didn't let racism fester. Harry didn't let his wife be bullied and abused by the monarchy and the media machine. Harry told the truth. That's all. He told the truth in the Oprah interview. He told the truth in the Netflix documentary. He told the truth in Spare. He told the truth the palace was terrified of. Because that truth exposed a system built on secrets, manipulation, and survival at any cost. A system willing to destroy Meghan, a black American woman, in order to protect the image of others, and for that Harry was punished. For protecting his wife, Harry was vilified. For breaking generational silence, Harry became the enemy. But here's what the media won't acknowledge. Harry was the only one who stood up and said, "Enough." He was the only one who refused to let Meghan be sacrificed. He was the only one who said, "We will not play your game anymore." So when tabloids frame any potential encounter between Harry and William as awkward, it's projection. The awkwardness isn't coming from Harry. Harry has peace. Harry has therapy. Harry has boundaries. Harry has his wife, his children, his purpose, his freedom. The awkwardness is coming from the other side. The side that never expected Harry to leave. The side that assumed Harry would forever remain the spare. Loyal, silent, compliant. The side that underestimated the power of a man who finally saw through the institution that raised him. And then we get to Meghan, always dragged into every royal story, even when she has nothing to do with it. The British press is obsessed with her. And let's be clear, this obsession isn't rooted in journalism. It's rooted in resentment. It's rooted in the realization that Meghan survived their smear campaigns, defeated their lies in court, built a new life, and continues to thrive. The press hates that Meghan is everything they said she could never be: successful, influential, beloved, and unbothered. They hate that she proved them wrong. They hate that she took control of her story. They hate that she and Harry walked away and built a brand without royal permission. So they cling to this tired storyline about a reunion in hopes of keeping Meghan's name in their headlines, in hopes of dragging her back into royal drama, in hopes of implying she somehow caused the rift. But the world sees through it now. The old tactics aren't working anymore. Meghan's image in the US is growing, her brand is expanding, her podcasting success, her creative ventures, her philanthropic influence, all of it continues to rise. And the British media can't stand it. Now, if Harry and William do end up at the same match, let's be real about what would happen. It wouldn't be dramatic. It wouldn't be explosive. There would be no shouting match, no confrontation. At best, it would be a short, polite, chilly acknowledgement. A nod. A hello. Maybe not even that. Then they'd go their separate ways. Harry back to his California home. William back to England. And the tabloids back to writing fan fiction in desperation. Because here's the truth. This whole narrative isn't about a reunion. It's about the British media's addiction to Harry and Meghan. It's about their inability to move on. It's about their refusal to accept that Harry and Meghan left the institution. And the institution cannot function without scapegoats. Harry and Meghan are not returning. They are not crawling back. They are not seeking forgiveness. They are not waiting for William. They are not chasing reconciliation. They are not living in regret. They are living in freedom. And freedom terrifies the institution that raised them. The monarchy thrives on silence, hierarchy, obedience and control. Harry broke all four. That's why he was punished. That's why they still try to embarrass him. But what the press forgets is that Harry is the one who chose a healthy life. Harry is the one who prioritized his wife's safety. Harry is the one who grew. Harry is the one who left generational trauma behind. Harry is the one who stood up to a system older than him, older than his father, older than his entire family tree. That is strength. That is courage. That is leadership. And Meghan is the catalyst who brought clarity into Harry's life. They cannot forgive her for that, because she represents a truth the monarchy doesn't want to confront, that their power is fragile, and once you see the cracks, you can never unsee them. So what do? They create distractions, they invent scandals, they fabricate reunions, they push reconciliation fantasies that only exist in their imaginations. Because without Harry and Meghan, the royal press machine is empty, the rota system is hollow, and the monarchy is irrelevant. Now, as we wrap up this deep dive, let me speak directly to you. The Sussex Squad, the supporters, the truth-tellers, the people who refuse to be fooled by the propaganda machine. Thank you for being here. Thank you for standing strong. Thank you for continuing to push back against the lies, the manipulation, the distortion. You are the reason truth keeps shining through the noise. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It helps the algorithm push this channel to more people who want real facts, not manufactured drama. And don't forget to tap that like button. It sends a message to the tabloids that we're not falling for their narrative. Drop a comment below with "Armed Sussex Squad Strong" so we know you're riding with us. And if you want to support this channel and help us keep exposing lies and uplifting truth, feel free to send a super thanks. Every contribution helps us produce more content, more analysis, and more episodes just like this one. This is the Sussex Squad podcast, the home of clarity, love, and truth, where Harry and Meghan are celebrated, not smeared, where we uplift, not tear down, where we see through the noise and stand firmly for justice. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being part of the squad. And until next time, stay bold, stay aware, stay loving, and above all, stay Sussex Squad.